everyone. Uh, Today we'll take a subject named EVS, subject code 008, and we'll discuss today what is environmental studies, the need and the scope importance of the environmental studies. Now, first we have what is environmental science. Now, the science of environmental studies is a multidisciplinary science. It comprises various branches, studies like chemistry, physics, medical science, life science, agriculture, public health, sanitary engineering, etc. Now, what exactly is environmental science? What it consists of, basically it is a study of how the natural world works, how the environment affect human and vice versa. What is a man and environment relationship? Now, what exactly is environment? Basically, it is derived from the French word environner, which means your surrounding, your encircle, and all the thing which around us with which we are interacting, that is a physical factor or a biological factors, or in other words we can say our environment is divided into two categories, that is the biotic environment as well as the abiotic environment. Now, what is biotic? The another name for the biotic environment is the living things, and the abiotic environment, the another name for this is a either you can say the non-living things or the physical factors. Now, the biotic under biotic environment there is a floral and the faunal environments. That is, it deals generally with the plants and animals, whereas the abiotic is a physical factors which consist of soil, rocks, landforms, oceans, continents, clouds, and even we have several other factors also, that is the social and cultural factors and the psychological factors. Now, the environment means the surrounding external conditions which influencing the development or the growth of people, animal or plant, living or working conditions. We all are dependent on each other, and this involves three questions in our mind, that is, what is surrounded, by what we are surrounded, and where surrounded. Now, in a single language, in a simple terms, definition of environment, basically it consists of sum total of the stimulation which a person receives from his conceptions until his death. The term environment is also used to describe in the aggregate all the external forces, influences, and the conditions which affect the life, nature, behavior, and the growth, development, and the maturity of living organism. Now, what is the scope of environment? It consists of basically four segments: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. And generally, this comes under the physical factors. Now, we have one by one in detail what is atmosphere. Basically, it implies the protective blanket of gases surrounding the earth. It sustains life on the earth. It saves it from the hostile environment of outer space. It transmits air ultraviolet, visible, near infrared radiations. Then we have a hydrosphere, which is comprises of all the type of water resources: oceans, seas, lake, rivers, streams, polar ice caps, glaciers, and the groundwater. Lithosphere, basically it is the outer mantle of the solid earth. In general, if we are saying the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere, these all are the physical factors. Again, the biosphere indicates the realm of all the living organisms and their interactions with the other environment, that is, the physical factors, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. Now, what all are the elements of environment? Since we already discussed that Our environment is divided into two categories, that is the biotic and abiotic, or in other words we can see the physical factors and the biological factors. So physical, basically elements, they are the landforms, the water bodies, climate, soil, rocks, minerals. Biological is the plants, animals, microorganisms and the men. Cultural is basically the economic, social and political elements that again are essential man-made features. Now, what is the importance of environmental studies? What is the need of this? Basically, environmental studies enlighten us about the importance of protection and conservation of our indiscriminate release of pollution into the environment. And at present, a great number of environmental issues, they have grown up in size and complexity day by day, and it's threatening the survival of mankind on the earth. It is degrading. We study about these issues besides and effective suggestions also in the environmental studies. What is the importance? How the environmental studies become significant? There are some reasons. Number one, need to save the humanity from extinction, need for the wise planning of development, explosively increase in pollution, problem cropped in the wake of development, environmental issues. Now, what is the need for public awareness? There are some challenges also. The challenges are growing population, poverty, agricultural growth, need to groundwater, development in forest, degradation of land, reorientation of institutions, reductions of genetic diversities, air and water pollution, even the consequences of urbanization. Now, various types of environment, as we already discussed, that is the physical and social and cultural, psychological, as well as the biological environment. Structure again comprises of both physical and biological. Already discussed. Physical is the three broad categories: solid, liquid, and gas. And the biological is the plants and animals, that is flora and fauna. Now, what do you mean by the sustainable development? The use of resources, the proper use of resources to satisfy the current need without compromising the future availability of resources for the generations to come. Sustainability, it means it leaves the future generations with a rich and full earth, conserves the earth's natural resources, maintains fully functioning ecological system of nature. This is all we have about the environmental studies, the importance, the scope, the components of environment, the constituents of environment. Even now the conclusion is it environmental science, it helps us to understand our relationship with the environment, and it informs our attempt to solve and prevent the problems. It identifying a problem is the first step in solving it. And solving the environmental problem, it can also move us towards health, peace, prosperity, longevity. Thank you so much.